Come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Put up the one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Hi. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Let me put this title in this comments back before I forget, and pin it. Because I am good for that, okay? There we go. Hey, Houston. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. As you see, I put the title in the comments. Let's talk about how your sugar addiction is ruining your sales and business. And a lot of people don't realize it, but I'm here to let you know. So share this with a fellow business owner. Because we're going to talk about this connection today. Because I think a lot of people don't realize that there's a huge connection. For those who do not know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette. I am a feminine mastery architect. And what I do is I support my amazing clients. And my clients are women leaders. I support them specifically in harnessing their feminine energy, mastering emotional intelligence in business, which supports them in having unmatched creativity, unmatched productivity, and it increases their financial growth massively. Okay, the ability to be able to use your energetics to make money is a very real thing. I think a lot of people ask questions and are trying to figure out how are people making this money. I'm seeing people do these things and do all these things, from people making money on TikTok shop, from people making money consistently in their business, and this continues to happen while the world seems to have an economic crisis going on. So this is why I always tell y'all, be very careful about what you're listening to and making sure that you're guarding your gates, because there's money everywhere. But a lot of people don't have the proper habits, and they lack self-control, which puts them in a position to not be able to sustain. So I'm going to break this down a bit about how sugar is your sugar addiction and what you're doing with your chemical energy, how that's impacting your ability to be able to be sustainable in business and to be able to sell. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on here today. I'm gonna get straight into it because it's very important and very vital, because I think a lot of women are missing this. They're crashing out and they don't really realize why they're crashing out or how they're crashing out, and they're crashing out due to their lack of self-control. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. And I have some data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the 3 things that stop you from sustaining and getting sales in your business, and then I'm also going to talk about, I'm going to give you the data. I'm just going to give you the straight up data. In fact, I might go ahead and give you the data now so you'll know, because you think I'm playing. No, I'm going to give it to y'all when I'm mixed as I'm going through it, because it's extremely important for you to realize as a business owner that your business, or the health of your business, is only as good as the well-being of the CEO. So if the CEO has piss poor health, then you can expect the business to follow. There are a lot of women who are making a whole lot of money, but these women have poor health, so they're not able to sustain. And because they don't have self-control, they didn't put that money back into their systems to be able to sustain while they're sick. And that's what's happening with a lot of people, okay? Because it is really, really crazy. Thank you so much. So again, we're talking about how your sugar addiction is sinking your sales. For those who are joining, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine mastery architect, and I work with women leaders, helping them harness their feminine energy, master emotional intelligence in business, ultimately so they can make more money. Because if you don't have control of your own energy, if you don't have control over your emotional energy, if you don't have control over what you put in your mouth, your chemical energy, it speaks more to what your longevity is going to look like in business. And I think a lot of people don't pay attention to that. The more you graduate, or the more you grow, because when you first get a business, let's break this down. I think a lot of people don't really realize this. When you first get a business, you become a business owner. Once you have that business and you start establishing yourself and you start actually doing the work in that business, you graduate from being a person who owns a business all the way to a person who's an entrepreneur. And then you go from being an entrepreneur to actually being a CEO. Okay. And so how you graduate from becoming an entrepreneur to a CEO is the structure, the strategy, and the sustainability that you set up for your business, and most importantly for yourself. Because if you are not well, like I said, the business, you can just go ahead and cancel that. All right. So let's go ahead and get straight into this. I'm gonna just cut to the chase. A lot of women are stuffing sugary foods down their throats in order to feel better, because they want this false dopamine rush, because they hate their lives. A lot of women are making a whole lot of money, but a lot of women suffer with self-esteem and self-worth issues, and this is displayed a lot in their friendships, the way that they bend over backwards for their families without boundaries, and most importantly as well, their relationships with money and with men. It reveals how you just need a rush. Some women do this with sugar, some women do this with shopping, some women do this with sex. There are a lot of ways that women are basically trying to escape from the reality that they actually hate their lives, and it's actually revealing them the lack of self-control that they actually have, because it's your piss poor habits and your inability to be able to manage your energy and motion, which are your emotions. Because you can't manage your energy and motion, you eat them. And you're not getting a bowl of strawberries when you're sad, you're getting a bowl of ice cream. Or you're going to get the fastest thing that you can shove down your throat, because that's the only thing in your life at this point in time that you can control. And it's because you're trying to control everything else outside of you instead of getting in control with yourself. Okay. So what's actually happening is that your bad business or your bad habits and your lack of self-control is the reason why you are not getting a bag. Your lack of self-control is the reason why your business is not making the proper sales, and your lack of strategy and structure and your inability to support yourself is the reason why you're not going to be able to sustain as time goes on in business. Thank you. So I think a lot of people need to pay attention to these three things. Number one, there's a connection between sugar and stress. Some recent studies, and in fact, I'll actually give you the study. The Journal of Appetite, in the Journal of Appetite and Studies by the American Psychological Association, they have shown that stress can lead to increased cravings such as sugary foods due to cortisol release. The reason why you think that you want this cake, the reason why you think that you want this candy, the reason why, and it's coming from somebody who has sugar issues for a very, very long time, threw my body out of balance because I had sugar issues, and it resulted in me being diagnosed with polycystic ovarian when I was 20 years old. And I literally spent years with an irregular cycle all over the place and being sick because I could not control my energy and motion. Therefore, I could not control my chemical energy, what I put into my body. And that held me back, because before I got into this business, I actually was a bridal makeup artist. So I would be standing on my feet. I was working at MAC Cosmetics as well, along with my full-time job as a social worker, and I would be standing on my feet, but I was standing on my feet at almost 300 pounds. And after standing on your feet for about 4 hours or so, and then you're doing makeup, your back and all these things start really, like, they just become extremely inflamed. Okay. And so that extra weight, my knees cracking, all that type of stuff, I couldn't sustain in business doing that. So I was like, okay, this is not something that I can do long term, number one. And because one, I'm not going to do this wear and tear on my body. And number two, I need to do something about my body, because I'm too young to be feeling all these things, knees popping, crackling, all this type of stuff. And it's all because of the inflamed sugar, okay? Or the processed sugar. And I wanted this processed sugar because I was stressed. I don't think women realize that stress eating is a form of impulsivity, just like stress spending. And when you are going out there being impulsive, it's because you don't really know how to manage your stress, and you're trying to find something to make you feel better really quickly, but it's at the expense of your health, and it's at the expense of your business. And that's why you're going broke, because you can't get a bag. You can't get a bag because you got so much sugar in your body that you can't focus. See, I used to have psoriasis really bad in my hair and all, like skin and all of that. You know why? Because of all of the sugar. So recent studies, like I said, I'm going to go back to this. Recent studies have shown that stress is a major trigger for sugar cravings. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. That's the only reason why it's in your body, to alert you of stress, to be able to reveal the stress that you have going on. The hormone literally increases your appetite for you to crave sugary foods. And if you don't have a plan in place to support you, if you're not eating in sync with your cycle, then you're going to go continue to eat things that actually are throwing your body out of balance, making your body a literal cesspool for illnesses to enter in. And I think a lot of people don't do that. Don't realize that there's no point of you starting a business and doing so well and getting online just so you can shine when you're finna be in a hospital in like 2 weeks because you don't take care of yourself, because you lack self-control. You're literally trying to put on this self-image showing that you have it all together, when behind closed doors, baby, not only are you binging on your money, you binging on food. And that's why you can't keep a bag, and that's why this body is not together. And when I say this body is not together, I'm not talking about the body looking properly for aesthetics. I'm talking about you understanding that this vessel you have is actually something that you need to be taken care of, because again, the health of your business is dependent upon the well-being of its CEO. If you are not well, expect the business to follow suit soon. Okay? And your sugar addiction ain't gonna help, because here's the next issue that goes on with this. Because it increases your desire for sugary foods, it becomes a vicious cycle that you create. And some of us have started this cycle from when we were teenagers, and it's just carrying over a childhood, and this is carrying over into adulthood. But guess what? 40 years of tearing your body down with sugar is eventually going to start showing up, okay? This cycle leads to stress, leads to sugar. Sugar spikes the blood sugar. Then comes the big crash, leaving you what? Moody, tired, and unproductive. Guess what you ain't doing? Getting no paper. Guess what you not doing? Collecting no checks. All because you decided that it was best for you to get up in the morning and eat all these sweets and grab these things instead of being intentional and being intuitive about what actually is going into your body, okay? So that you can actually sustain for the day. People don't realize that every single organism that wakes up every single morning in this 24-hour span cycle, because the 24 hours is a cycle. The 24-hour cycle that we have, every organism wakes up and is searching for food. It's searching for food to, number one, store it so it can be able to use it when necessary. Two, they're using it for active energy so that you can complete what it is that you need to do, right? Also, when you wake up in the morning, depending on what type of food that you eat, it makes a determination, or how can I say this? Depending on what type of food that you eat when you wake up in the morning sets the tone of how well your body is going to be able to fight off disease for that day. The reason why a lot of people are riddled with illnesses is because you spend time eating processed food, not processing your emotions properly, and because of that, your body can't fight off what you've invited in. Illness is something you invite into your vessel. People don't want to hear that. That's what it is, though. How do I invite illness into my vessel? Well, I'll tell you, first and foremost, the first thing that you're doing to invite illness into your vessel is not having boundaries. Yeah. Your inability to have boundaries, your inability to stick to them when it comes down to your family is the reason why you're starting to get sick. You being a people pleaser is one of the reasons why you're getting sick, because you are working against yourself. You're not working in agreement with yourself. You're working against yourself, and then you wonder why you don't get the results that you want in life. You wonder why you're not making the type of money you want to make in business. You're wondering why you're not attracting the type of people that you want into your space and your experience. It is simply because you have set the tone that you are a swampland. And what I mean by that is you allow anybody to come and dump. You are accepting of any and every scenario and situations because you don't have any boundaries. And I'm from New Orleans. So hear me when I tell you this. I'm from New Orleans. So if I don't frequent with the swamp, because I understand that there's a lot in the swamp. People used to put bodies in the swamp back in the G. Okay? Ain't nothing safe in the swampland, okay? Ain't nothing healthy going on in the swamp. And a lot of us are allowing, thank you, my love, for these gifts, our bodies to become cesspools in swamps. And it's because you don't know how to manage your energy. And because you don't know how to manage your emotions, which is your energy and motion, you're not managing the chemical energy, which is the food that you put in your body, which is what food turns into within your body. And your body ain't running on gas, it's running on crap. And that's why you're sick. That's why you're collecting illnesses. When the body runs on crap, it starts to collect illnesses. That's what happens, okay? When the body runs on crap, and I need you to understand that, you begin to collect illnesses like it's your job, okay? Like it's your job. The second thing that's very important that you need to pay attention to, along with the sugar and the stress, and why you're crashing, feeling moody, you're not completing projects because you're not productive and you're tired and all these things, is because, well, is another reason, another thing, I'm sorry. Another thing that you need to realize is that emotional imbalance equals poor sales in business. I'm going to say that again. Being emotionally imbalanced equals poor sales in business. Business is about relationships. It's about energetics. And a lot of people think it's about making money. And that's where you're messing up at. Business, okay? The main aspect of business is about energetics. And when you don't understand your own energetics because you don't know the science of yourself as a woman enough to know that you are supposed to be in sync with your menstrual cycle and eating certain things on your menstrual cycle and during the phases of your menstrual cycle, which it's 4 phases. It's not just one. It's not just the 5 to 7 days that you bleeding, if you bleed in 5 to 7 days. Okay? It's literally a complete and utter cycle every single month that you're going through. So if you are not in alignment with that cycle and you are fighting, okay, your cycle or fighting with yourself during that time frame, you position yourself for internal instability, which blocks your income. Instability equals no income. Let me just help you out. Instability equals no income, okay? Your inability to manage your emotions doesn't just affect your health. It affects your sales. Research has literally proved that emotional instability, poor energy management leads to inconsistent performance. That's why you don't show up. And you don't realize that you don't show up because you don't manage your energy and motion properly. Therefore, you don't eat right. Therefore, you have no energy to do output, which means that you make no money. And it's all because you lack self-control. Ain't self-control a spiritual fruit? It's a spiritual fruit for a reason. And see, a lot of people don't really want to pay attention to that, but it's a real thing. 1 minute in business, when you operating with this up, down, 1 minute you're going to be on fire. Business may be booming. It may be good, but the next minute, guess what happens? You're overwhelmed and you're exhausted and you're unable to close deals or show up for your clients, which means somebody else going to get them. And you're going to miss out on that cash flow, all because you lack control within yourself. You have piss poor habits. You lack self-control. You don't know how to manage stress. And you know why? You don't have strategies. You don't have systems, and you don't have techniques. And you know why you don't have those? Because you don't invest in those. You know why you don't invest in those and you continue to invest in things that give you piss poor health? It's because you don't see the value in yourself enough to take care of yourself. I saw a quote by a sister friend of mine who said something. She said, when you go to the grocery store, whatever you put in your basket is how you feel about yourself. Clock that tea. Since y'all clocking all the tea on TikTok, clock that. And I'll up level that even more with that, because that's very true. What you allow yourself to experience, what you allow yourself to stay in, is a reflection of how you see yourself. So y'all really can miss me with all this fake empowerment, this fake, all this, oh, I'm just this, all this fake, you got it together. Like, cut the BS. We're not buying it. We're not buying the performance, because that's exactly what it is. You're unable to show up because you're not stable. And don't nobody want to deal with somebody who's emotionally imbalanced and all over the place. Femininity itself with the emotions is chaotic, right? It's like water. So the feminine is wild, free. It's like water. You know, it can be powerful, chaotic. It could be calm. It could be whatever. But see, the biggest thing is how you really tap in is knowing how to have emotional control. That's what y'all be lacking. Y'all give people too much power over you. A person can say something to you, baby, you triggered you all over the place, and you know why this continues to happen to you? Because again, you don't know yourself. You're not self-aware. If you know, so let's just get into this trend. People, if you know you a baddie, I don't refer to myself as that. But if that's what you call yourself, cool. If you refer to yourself as a baddie and this is what you know about yourself, then why you don't act like it? Women who understand that they are bad, women who understand that they are that girl or it, they just exude that energy. They don't necessarily have to speak it. They don't have to say it. They just are that. And when you are that, you protect yourself as if you are that. The reason why a lot of women don't do that, and they suffer from degeneracy, and degeneracy is basically not taking care of yourself, letting yourself go, not taking care of yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and then expecting someone to stay there with you and support you is ridiculous unless you're sick and something else is going on. If you're not sick and there's nothing medically wrong with what you have going on and you are just allowing yourself to fall by the wayside, that is nobody's responsibility but your own. And for you to want people to come into that madness as your friend, as your man, or even as a client, is what the children be, what the kids saying, not diabolical. That's exactly what it is. But for me, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to invite people into spaces that are not safe and then want them to save you. And that's what a lot of women are doing. You are not setting the tone for yourself to show, thank you, my love, for these gifts, that you have self-control, you have strategy, you have stability. That's what's attractive. So what makes you think when you look at a man and these are the things that you want from him and that's attractive, what makes you think that somebody is not looking back at you wanting for you to be internally stable? And I'm not talking about clocking for your pockets. I'm talking about your emotional stability. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control your mouth, and you can't control your money, and you're in trouble. Molly, you in danger, girl. And you really need to wake up. Okay? The third thing that you need to understand about how your sugar addiction is sinking your cells outside of sugar, stress, and the studies that shows. Oh no, let me give y'all this study on it because I need y'all to know. The Harvard Business Review and other sources have published articles on how emotional intelligence and stability correlate with consistent performance in business. Your emotional instability is going to impact your work performance. Your work performance is what gets you paid. If you're not showing up, just like if you was working a 9 to 5, if you are not performing, they're going to fire you, baby. They don't care about what else you got going on. You ain't doing what they're paying you to do, so you're fired. And when you're in business and you're not doing what you need to do, you're simply not going to get paid. And you're not, and I want you to hear this, because you're not getting paid because you don't know how to manage your stress. You're not getting paid because you don't know how to manage yourself. You're not getting paid because you have no strategy. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. And that's why you stuck. That's why you stagnant. That's why ain't nobody buying what you're trying to sell. It's really that simple. Third thing that you need to understand about why and how your sugar addiction is literally sinking your cells is because you become a disease breeding ground. You become a breeding ground for dis-ease within your vessel. Dis-ease or disease is nothing but a lack of harmony within self. That's basically what that is saying. Somebody says that you have a disease, there's a lack of harmony within your body. There's something within your body that is throwing it off balance, okay? For exactly. But you know what? Parasites carry disease. A lot of people don't realize, and everybody should be, don't even get me started on that. But yes, that sweet addiction is setting your body up for diseases like polycystic ovarian syndrome, or other womb issues, type 2 diabetes, psoriasis, and those are just 3. I ain't even gonna give you the full list. Those are 3 things that literally, in fact, yes I am. I'm gonna go and give you a 4th one. You know what these things lead to? You know what PCOS leads to? You know what type 2 diabetes leads to? And you know what psoriasis is a sign of? We got some dis-ease in the heart. Those are early signs of dis-ease within your heart. I'm sorry, but aren't women the number one community that's dying from heart disease? Aren't women the number one? Number one. Leading when it comes down to heart disease. Every time you turn around, baby, it seems like it's heart disease month. Everybody mom got on a red shirt. Because we checking out. But we're checking out because we don't know how to manage stress. And improper management of self equals the destruction of self. How you think you're going to thrive in business? And do y'all not see how these people turning up the dial and turning up the heat on things? If you can't manage yourself and your stress and your emotions now, what you going to do when they really turn up the dial on you? You have no strategy. Molly, you in trouble, baby. You're in danger. Your business is in danger. All of these things are in danger, all because you don't know how to manage yourself. This is why I tell women all the time, if you can't manage yourself, you can't manage a relationship, you can't manage money, you can't manage a marriage, you can't manage a business. When you can't manage yourself, it's hard for you to manage anything else outside of yourself. This is why I teach women it's important to fuel the woman who feels the roles. And you can't fuel yourself with BS. And that's what a lot of women are doing. You are fueling yourself with BS and expecting to smell like flowers and fruit. It makes absolutely no sense. That whole thing about you are what you eat, that's a real thing. If you eat too much of something, it begins to come out of your pores. And when you eat rotten foods that are rotting in your body, it brings out a smell. This is science. But you become a literal walking disease catcher at that point. Because studies have confirmed that a high sugar intake increases the risk of developing all of those conditions. Let's go ahead and get into it. Studies from like the Lancet in Diabetes Endocrinology Journal have documented the connection between high sugar intake and an increased risk of developing conditions such as type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and so much more. Is the sugar, see, now we getting into it. Is the sugar let me scratch that. Is your inability to manage yourself worth you losing everything? Or are you going to put yourself on track to do what you need to do so that you can sustain your success? I don't care how much money you're making right now, how much money you think you're making. But if you are not taking care of yourself and making sure that you are well, if you are staying in toxic relationships, or if you are constantly stressed out, baby, you are making your body a wasteland. And wastelands don't do anything but collect dis-ease. Because that's what is all in there. A bunch of dis-ease, a bunch of lack of harmony. Okay? How can you run a successful business that you claim that you want so bad? How can you do these things when you don't know how to manage yourself? How are you going to do that when you're sick? The health of a CEO truly matters. Companies who are led by CEOs that are in good health are statistically more successful. Okay? Your body literally is an engine behind your business, especially when you are first starting, because in order for you to get passive income, what they don't tell you about is you got to get active first. And in order for you to get active first, you got to have energy. And in order to have energy, you have to be fueling yourself with the right things, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and socially. Okay? Those things are very vital and very important, because here's the thing. What is the point? See, let's get into the real tea. What is the point of you breaking all these cycles, being the first one to go to college, the first one to make this much money in your career from anyone in your family, breaking all these generational cycles? You did all that for what? To be sick? You did all that to be sick and stagnant and to be looking silly? Is that why you did that? Instead of you actually being able to enjoy your success, there is no point of reaching and getting all this money and going through all this madness just for you to end up spending it on medication. Because last time I checked, women who have, and people who have diabetes type 2, they're on medicine for life. Until they change their life. Until they change their life, you're on medication for life. And when you're on medication for life, medication impacts your kidneys. and your overall kidney function if you are on it for a long period of time. Y'all don't understand that medication just gives you more of an extension, supposedly. It's not solving the problem. You're responsible for solving the problem. And you're putting your health in the hands of someone else, expecting them to save you when you won't save your own self. That's crazy work. That's how y'all be moving. Y'all want men to come here and save y'all and rescue you from all your bills and all that, and you won't save your own self by even managing yourself properly, making sure that you are well. But you want to make it somebody else's responsibility to do it. Y'all need to grow up. Nobody's coming to save you. You're gonna have to come into the realness of what exactly is happening. Okay, I got another stat. Research from organizations like McKinsey and Company often emphasize how health and well-being of leaders directly impacts company performance. The harsh truth of it, baby, is your sweet addiction and your stress and your inability to manage those things are sabotaging your ability to sell, to sustain, and to scale your business. That's why you stay broke. That's why you stay broke. Because you're not on bar, and that means you're not on bag. Okay? It's time for you to take back control of your emotions, of your habits. If you don't, it's going to be the death of your business. That's it. There's no nice way for me to say that. Queens, when you understand the queen's position on the chessboard, she is the most powerful piece on the chessboard because she can move in whatever direction she want to move in. Whatever she chooses for her life, whatever she chooses to go, she has full range to do so. And everything that you are choosing right now for yourself in this area, is it cultivating a successful environment or sustainability when it comes down to your life and your business? Y'all are not thinking about the quality of your life, and y'all are not thinking about the quality of your business. Y'all not even getting y'all business prepared for if something happens and you did get sick, because you can't control and manage your sugar intake and manage yourself now. So the sales that you're getting, you basically have to turn around and spend that money on what you need to do. And now, because you're having to buy all these medications to do this, you can't scale your business because you got to spend money on going to the doctor. Absolutely ridiculous. You got to make some decisions and make some choices. If you are a business owner, you need to be in my Balance and Prosper Masterclass, where I'm teaching you to master your cycle syncing and turn your anxiety into opportunity so you can skyrocket your business. That is happening on August the 22nd at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's free for business owners. Don't bring your tail in there if you ain't no business owner. Don't do it, because it's not for you. But if you know that you are in business and you know you're not doing what you need to do, and you know you're not collecting the cash flow you need to, and you know you're not doing the things, and you're ready to start scaling and start making a lot more money in your business and getting in sync with your body, then this is going to be the class for you. It's called Balance and Prosper. The link is in the bio. This is where you're going to learn to master cycle syncing and turn your anxiety into opportunity so that you can skyrocket your business. Okay? So click the link in the bio to be able to do that. We're going to go over you decoding and understanding what cycle syncing actually is, the irresistible benefits of cycle syncing, and also what it takes to actually turn your menstrual madness into mindful money making. Because my clients who have used this formula have gone from 6 figures to multi 6 figures, from 5 figures to 6 figures, from having 0 to having almost 15K in less than 30 days. You have to understand that money responds to energy, because money is energy. Y'all think it's paper because that's what society told y'all. The dollars you have in your purse, whether it's $100 bill, whether it's a $20 bill, okay? It is made of 75% cotton, 25% linen. It's not real. It's the only value it has is the value that has been placed on it. It has not had any gold backing since 1970 something, when it was stripped. So it's $100 to you, and it's valuable to you because that's what you've been taught. That's what you've been told. What you need to understand, that the value is actually within self. And when value is within self, then you can create money, meaning you can create more opportunity. But y'all ain't really ready for that type of conversation because you ain't ready to do that real work. So that's the first thing. You need to be in a masterclass if you're a business owner, so that you can understand how this works. Click the link in the bio to be able to get access. All right. What questions do you guys have for me? Because like I said, I'm not going to be on here really long. If you're having issues in solving your money problem in general, you got a business and you're not making money, then you need to get the become a money magnet. Click the link in the bio and grab that. That's going to be $12. That's your entire kit to support you in making more money in your business. Don't nobody come on here asking me how to make money. Because all you got to do is click the link in the bio and you're going to solve your money problem. I'm telling you, this is how you're going to solve your money problem right here. You have issues in business not making money. Number one, you need to figure out what you're actually going to be selling, what's in demand, and what's going on. Okay? That's what you're going to learn, and how to solve your money problem. You're going to get that video. The second thing you're going to get in that kit is that you're going to get a how to align with your wealth frequency, because you need to understand how much money you need to have for you to live the life that you want. And you want to be in that energetic frequency. You don't want to be in the energetic frequency somewhere else of some stuff that you don't want, because a lot of y'all want to be in spaces where you're like, oh, I want to be with a millionaire. I want to be this. I want to be that. I've dated a millionaire. But let's go ahead and get into it. You need to understand, in that realm and in that world, there are rules. And you need to really make sure that you are an energetic match for what you are actually asking for. So it's very important for you to know your wealth frequency. The second aspect of that is you need to improve your relationship with money, because money isn't attracted to you if you are not making money right now. I'm telling y'all, too much money being made. I ain't even trying to hear it. It's too much money being made. If you're not getting any, it's because money is not attracted to you, or you are not in the right wealth frequency. And you need to do that by solving your money problem. And so that $12 kit is going to support you in solving your money problem by giving you that video, giving you those 2 PDFs so you can work through that. Then you can actually start making more money, whether that is you being at your 9 to 5, if you are a person that's at a 9 to 5 and you want to leave, if you are a person that's just starting your business and you're having a hard time getting money because you're overwhelmed, that kit is going to support you in fixing your money problem. Money is the blood of your business. If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no business. You may as well hang it up. You may as well just cut that. Okay, so you need to figure out how to solve your money problem, and I created that so women could learn how to solve their money problem with ease. Okay, if you are a business owner and you don't so much have a money problem, you know how to make money, but you don't really know how to keep money flowing in to your business. That kind of seems to be the issue, where you don't know how to have consistent money just flowing to you. There may be a disconnect between your cash flow, and your nervous system. If you are always anxious, if you are always all over the place, if you are always, kind of overthinking all the time, you are throwing your nervous system out of balance. And so you need to learn how to command your cash flow by calming your nervous system. I have a course in my bio where you can click and learn. You can learn about how you can literally calm your nervous system. You should be able to click the Become a Money Magnet and kind of scroll through their whole stand store and see that course. And that course is $250. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. It's going to teach you how to call forth cash flow in the midst of an economic crisis. I specifically created that course during this time frame because I knew everybody was going to be losing their mind. Stuff is not going to get better, y'all. It's going to get more expensive. You have to get better. You have to be able to articulate your value in every era that is happening on this earth while you are living, or you're going to stay in survival mode, or you're going to stay a slave to somebody else, or you're going to be a sucker because you're going to be prey. So these are the decisions that you need to be making. And a lot of women are avoiding the hard decision. Y'all are worried about men. Y'all need to be worried about yourselves. It's called Become a Money Magnet. You click the link in my bio and just tap Become a Money Magnet, and it's going to bring you to the kit. And all you got to do is get the kit. Okay? So you don't want to be in a position to where you being a sucker, you being a slave, or you just overall being stupid when it comes down to yourself. You need to self-prioritize, self-preserve, and put yourself up there on a pedestal and give yourself what you need so that you can thrive. Okay? So it's so vital, and it's so very important that you do so. All right, let me get to these questions. Like somebody just said, are you answering questions? I am, but I needed to get that out first. Let's see. I'm new. Oh, I was 20 when I was diagnosed, and I have reversed every last symptom except for one, without taking metformin, without being on Clomid, without being on any of the drugs or any of the things that they said that I had to be on, and definitely without being on birth control. So yes, I'm about to put you on game. The first thing that needs to happen is that we need to address most women who have polycystic ovarian, and this is including myself then. Most of those women actually are overworkers, overextenders. Okay? Overworking, overextending. Most of the time, they're people pleasers. I see this a lot in the oldest daughter. I see this a lot in women that are the only child. I see all of these things, and it comes from having to disconnect from self in order to do a lot of things for others. So it's almost like you deny your feminine nature, if that makes any sense. And I'll be honest with you, my cycle came at 11. I spent over 20 something years in a very much so masculine state. So who you see in front of you is the woman who has done the work over the last 7 years. Because if you would have saw me 7 years ago, I'm totally not the same person. Okay, totally not the same person. And it's because I reconnected back with my authentic feminine design by one, understanding my identity spiritually, and my identity spiritually secure, being clear of my identity spiritually secured me in understanding that I didn't have to be everyone's person. I didn't have to exhaust myself. I didn't have to be all over the place. I began to study examples of women like Eve of scripture, women like the Proverbs 31 women, and other warrior women like Jael and different women like that, and Deborah, women who were extremely powerful but who were not doing the most. When you look at Deborah, baby, they was hating on her so tough. You know, she was a judge, but she was out because they didn't want women judge, baby. She was out, had her own little spot, baby. People was coming to her. She just sat there and the folks was coming and asking questions and asking about. So I learned I didn't have to do the most because doing the most was getting me the least. I had less optimal health, less support, less vulnerability. It was a multitude of things that I just didn't have because I was locked into an identity that did not belong to me, but one that society was trying to assign to me. And that was one of the most damaging and dangerous things I could have done. I see you guys purchases coming through. Congratulations and thank you all so much. I can't wait to see what comes from everything that y'all are working on and how you guys solve your money problem. So that's the first thing. The first thing is deconstructing from societal norms and any like ideas, like breaking away from all of those of who you're supposed to be, and then making a decision to create the life that you actually want. I would recommend for you to get the how to solve your money problem by becoming a money magnet so that you can start investing in more quality products. As in, I would stop using a lot of the day-to-day cleaning products. And these things are going to take money. So I'm not going to sit here and just act like it's not. That's why I help women solve their money problem. Because if you got the money to do what you need to do, then you ain't got to worry about it. We can sit in our feminine when things are taken care of. I was going to be funny and be like very demure, very mindful. I'm so childish. I hate that, y'all, by the way. But, you know, when you have what you need to be able to invest in higher quality things so that you can take care of yourself, you begin to feel better. So everything starts with your energy and motion within your body, and then you start working on the things externally, what you're putting into your body. So first, emotional energy management, then chemical energy management, then environmental management is very important when it comes down to dealing with the things that are happening on the inside of your body around PCOS. Like I said, they diagnosed me when I was 20. I reversed all of the symptoms except for one. I'm working on the last one now. But yeah, they asked me like, so your cycle comes consistently for the last 7 years? Yeah, my cycle never came consistently for over 20 something years. I've been imbalanced internally, emotionally, because since I was 11 years old, since before then, my first 10 years here were unstable. I went to, I think, maybe like 5 elementary schools. So that just speaks to the instability of my environment, which impacted the internal stability of myself. Parents don't realize that environments and all those things have an impact on the energy and the internal energy and stability internally of your children. So this is why you may have kids who are cool at home and then they go to school and they start acting a fool because whatever is going on at home. So this is just another element of that. Okay. So I would focus on those things, and you're gonna need money. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I would grab the how to solve your money problem. I would become a money magnet. I would position myself for wealth, and I would invest in me first, being my top priority. And then after I do that, then I will figure out how I can get more, get more paper to be able to start living the life I want. But if you want more information on that, grab that how become a money magnet, and grab that manifest the life that you desire roadmap with it. That's gonna support you. It's probably you'll be out of $39 probably, by getting those two. Ooh, excuse me, and then start doing your work. So hopefully that helps. Excuse me. Do you recommend? That's not my specialty. I don't even want to lie to you. Um, I don't know. I don't want to pronounce your name as Tania or Tanya, but I can't give you that recommendation because that's not my specialty. I don't want to lie to you. I can tell you to do some other stuff. I can do that. Did you take it while? Did it take a while to learn not to get emotional when starting something new? I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel things extremely deeply. Number one, I'm a lover girl. Number two, I am a how can I describe this? One of my gifts, because I believe we all have a sense of a sense internally, like a some type of gift of knowing in some form. And I'm a feeler, so I'm clairsentient first, meaning I feel it first, and then I'm claircognizant second, which means I know it second. So, for me, having to manage my emotions even now is still a process, and it requires strategy for me. So I have to go through this entire process when something happened recently that actually kind of rocked me a bit, right? It's maybe like earlier this week. And so in my 20s and in my early 30s, before I started doing my work, baby, I would crash out. I will be the queen of crashing out. And not only am I going to crash out, but once I crash out, I'm going to burn the village down, stand there with the match, and dare somebody act like they finna come out. I was really crazy. Like, I'm really not even kidding. That's why when people meet me, they're like, oh my God, I don't even get that energy from you. Or men will be like, I don't even see you getting upset. Baby, she's still in here. I just go through a process to keep the girl from New Orleans still is presence. I just keep her down until necessary. She needs to come up because there are times she needs to come up. So I go through a process of pulling myself away from a scenario and assessing it properly before deciding whether or not it deserves my energy. And I think the thing is that we need to realize what deserves power to be given to it and what does not. And so me pulling away, me allowing myself to be able to get that space supports me in being able to do that process and go through the strategy that I have where we can do that. I go through strategy specifically in the calming your nervous system course, where I give you techniques on literally what to do to immediately pull yourself out of full of being emotions. Before you have an anxiety attack, before you have a panic attack, if you follow the things that I've given you, you will decrease the chances of that happening. A lot of women that come to work with me state that they have decreased anxiety. They have corrected some issues around their ADHD and autism. Like, it's a lot of things that go into being able to manage your emotions and calm your nervous system. So calming your nervous system is very key, and recognizing the signs of when your nervous system is disturbed is very key. And you can learn more about that by grabbing the Command Your Cash Flow Masterclass. Like I said, it's $250. You can get a recliner, firm, and afterpay. And if you click it's either up there by itself, or you can click the Become a Money Magnet and go to my overall store to see what's in there, and scroll to the bottom and you'll get access. Let's see. Thank you. All praises to the Most High. Thank you so much for these gifts as well. Any other questions before I get ready to let y'all go? Because I know I'm going to get some food because I ain't ate. I had a ginger beer today. That's all I had. This nice little... Y'all like ginger beer? I love ginger beer by itself. It's not really beer. Okay, so first and foremost. And this is not an ad. But yeah, I just absolutely love Fever Tree ginger beer. It gives me what I need as far as if I want the taste of a soda, and it does not have high fructose corn syrup in there. That's the main reason why I'm drinking it, okay? because they ain't got that. That's what I'm saying. High fructose corn syrup is one of those things too. It makes it really difficult for the body to be able to thrive, and it's almost in everything when you turn around and look at it. And this is the kicker. When I went to Canada, I love Canada, by the way. So when I went to Canada, I got us like they serve a lot of ginger ale there, right? A lot of Canada Dries like everywhere. So I looked at the back of like a Sprite and looked at the back of like a ginger ale, and I noticed that none of their sodas have high fructose corn syrup in them. None of them. And when I went to Canada for like 5 days, y'all, I lost like 7 pounds, and I was eating pop, baby. First of all, I'm from New Orleans. This is a sidebar. I'm from New Orleans, but I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was a little upset how Canada Popeyes was hitting better than the regular Popeyes in New Orleans or the United States Popeyes. They don't use a lot of GMO chemicals. A lot of the menu is different when it comes down to the size. They do not serve them red beans and rice because they ain't right. They don't sell a whole bunch of other things. And Canada is very strict about GMOs and different things like that in their food. But like I said, I was there for 5 days and lost 7 pounds. I went to Jamaica and was eating crazy in Jamaica. Well, not crazy, but eating in Jamaica, and I lost weight in Jamaica. It is the food that's here. That's why you have to be very careful about what you're putting in your body, because it literally puts you in position to become ill. And I don't want y'all to be sick, because if you ill, you can't get income. Everybody on here talking about some demure. What the dollars at? See, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all worry about the wrong thing. Y'all worry about being demure, and half of the folks ain't even demure. Let's talk about it. Because let's look at the definition, and let's look at a lot of people that's saying it. Most of y'all not even demure, okay? Where them dollars at? Because that's what it's going to take in order for you to create the life that you want. And you can solve your own money problem by literally tapping into your own wealth frequency, healing your relationship with money, and realizing what you do extremely well that people are willing to pay you for at a high price point. If you ain't getting no money, it's literally your fault. If you are going to allow sugar to crash out your bank account, by all means do that. But I'm telling you that your sugar addiction, your inability to manage yourself, your sugar addiction is revealing your inability to manage yourself, your inability to manage your energy and emotion, which are your emotions, which reveals that you are not capable and able to run the 6-figure, 7-figure business that you claim that you want so bad. You're not ready. You're not an energetic match for that. If you want to solve that problem and you want to enhance your creativity and stop having brain fog and stop having all of these things happen, then I want you to look at the Harmony in 6 program. I have a program that's a 6-week program where I'm teaching you how to get in sync with your cycle. What are the things that you need to be eating? Teaching you how to master your emotional responses so that you can go out here in this world and thrive. The women who have done this work with me, like back in 2021, those women are soaring in business right now. They've already hit 6 figures. The year ain't even over. They've already hit 6 figures because they are working in accordance with their cycle, working in alignment with their cycle. 2 folks who work, they literally have already hit 6 figures. Okay? So this is your choice, your decision. That particular program is $2,500. It is 6 weeks. I am going to talk more about that program in the masterclass that's happening, that's free on the 22nd at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, you can click the link in the bio where it talks about Harmony in 6 and everything that's going to happen, because your cycle plays a huge role in your ability to be able to create. And human creativity, according to, the World Economic Forum, is an irreplaceable human asset. And a lot of humans are not creative because they are filled with sugar, stress, and no strategy on how to get it out and how to get themselves back in balance, which is why they can't sell their offers, which makes them stay in spaces that keep them in a form of slavery. These folks don't care about y'all. Society don't care about y'all. And if you don't start caring about yourself, you will continue to be a slave to them. And I don't know about y'all, but the Most High freed me. I refuse to be a slave to any system, to any society. I'm not doing that. So if you are ready to not only hack your own sim and break out of the matrix for real, then definitely look at the Harmony in 6 program. Shoot me a DM about whatever questions you have. And yes, you can get the Harmony in 6 program on a payment plan. And you also can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. So yes, it is $2,500. But if you're not prepared for that and you need to get your emotions in check ASAP, then go ahead and check out the commanding your cash flow class, where I teach you to calm your nervous system so that you really can unleash the wealth that you really want for yourself. Okay. Any other questions before I let y'all go? 3 days without sugar and I feel so much better. Baby, listen, you ain't got to tell me. I used to have psoriasis so bad. I'm talking about, I get on here, whole hedges all up in here. Sugar. Sugar and stress. If you have psoriasis, sugar and stress. If you know how to, if you have strategies to decrease those and you have things to put in place to decrease those, then you'll see less of that. If you don't, that's an early sign that there is dis-ease happening within your heart. And I will get on top of that. Okay? Any other questions before I let y'all go? Congratulations, somebody else just purchased a course. I've seen a couple of people purchase courses. Congratulations to you guys. Any other questions? Because I'm finna go eat. Somebody asked me what I was finna eat, child. I don't even know. Something healthy, though. Because I need to get a few more pounds off so my fall wardrobe can really just do what I want it to do. You're so welcome. All praises to the Most High. Anything good that comes from me definitely has come from the Most High. It is not me. I appreciate you guys being here on this beautiful Feminine Friday, Fly Woman Friday. Whatever questions you may have, DM me. If I feel like it's something in regard to a product or service that can help you, I will refer out. If it's something else that I feel like it's a question that I can directly answer, then I will. Yeah. So I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing evening. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube too. FemREDL. Go ahead over there and grab all that content. I had a client to write me an amazing letter basically letting me know how all of my content has been supportive to her and how it's changed her life and elevated her in so many different ways. And I love when I get emails and things like that. So go ahead over there and make sure that you're following. I will talk to y'all soon. Lord willing, I might see y'all on Sunday. I don't know. So we'll see, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace, y'all.